Our bodies do not function perfectly from a biological sense. They make mistakes, and these mistakes can lead to a variety of outcomes, both good and bad. One of those things can be long-term pain perception. And quick disclaimer here, I'm not talking about acute injuries. If you tear your ACL, it's probably going to hurt. If you pull a muscle, it's probably going to hurt. But our bodies should be able to repair themselves and feel better over time. The process and pathway of pain perception isn't perfect. So just because I'm feeling pain in my knee, does it really mean that there's significant damage there and my body's just trying to protect it? Because that's the general premise of pain. It's our brain's alarm bell. It's our brain's way of saying, hey, I think something might be wrong, stop what you're doing. This is obviously very valuable in most situations, but sometimes the brain overprotects and sometimes there are false alarms. So I'm going to take a hard right turn here and throw an example your way. When we lock our car, how many times do you have to press the lock button on the key fob for it to work? Once. But we've all either done this or we know somebody who presses the button like 10 times when they're walking away from the vehicle. Did the 9 times you press that button after the first do anything valuable for locking the vehicle? No. The first time you pressed the button, you locked it. That's it. And everything afterwards was just noise. Pressing that button multiple times is a behavior that's developed over time. If you're young enough and your parents had key fobs, you may have witnessed them pressing the lock button several times to lock their vehicle. So you develop that behavior to mimic what your parents did. Or 2 years ago, you may have forgotten to lock your car, and the next day you find that someone has stolen your things. So ever since then, you've wanted to really make sure that your car is locked. These experiences can shape the way we behave in the future. Our brain does the same thing for pain perception. It takes all these past and current experiences to help determine if it's worth turning on the alarm when a body part senses something. So people often ask, how does me being stressed have anything to do with my knee hurting? Under normal circumstances, our alarm system works pretty efficiently. When we're stressed, our alarm system is on high alert. When we're lacking sleep, our alarm system is on high alert. When we're sitting at a desk in our car on our couch all day, our alarm system is also on high alert because it hasn't developed any recent experiences to know that most movements are completely safe. So just like being overprotective in locking your vehicle, your brain can develop overprotective tendencies for a physical part of your body, like the knee. It isn't offering any extra value by increasing the sensations in these long-term settings. And just because you perceive a greater intensity in the brain, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's more going on at the knee or that there's more damage. It could just be your brain pressing that lock button 9 more times than it had to because it really wants to make sure, even though it isn't necessary. So how do we change this? If we want to stop pressing the key fob 10 times when locking our vehicle, having someone bluntly tell us to stop or having a friend give us a smack across the head isn't going to change anything. In fact, it might make you irritated. So small, attainable changes can be made at first, and it might be uncomfortable not to be able to press the button a few more times in the early going. It takes time to readjust, it takes time to relearn and modify perception and behavior. If you're unsure where to start and you feel like you've been dealing with long-term pain or discomfort, feel free to leave a comment below or reach out, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction for more learning resources or professional help. Till then, keep moving.